Good evening, everybody. What's up? Welcome to another Wednesday and another episode of the Paranormal Unveiled podcast. So, if you haven't noticed, I'm up here by myself today. My co host was like, you know what, Nate? I don't feel like doing the show tonight. I think you're annoying. So, I'm just going to leave you be and you have the show all to yourself tonight. Obviously, that's not the case if you watch the intro. I will tell you, though, I have a very special guest co host coming on, but Gwen is not joining me as a co host tonight because she is going to be part of the show. I'm throwing her into the fire on the other side of the table. But without further ado, let's bring on my special guest co host, Morgan Caldwell.
Hi, thanks for having me. Also brave of having me because I've never done this, but
Hey, you know what? No better time to learn, right?
yeah.
Everyone's got to start somewhere. I mean, I've done a few co-host podcasts before in the past. You know what? The first ones are always the most nerve-wracking.
Yeah, very true.
But I think you're ready to go. Are you ready to go?
Yep.
So how's everything been today? Everything going good?
Yeah, for the most part. Closer to Friday, so can't complain.
That is very true. That is very true. So I think we have a very good show lined up tonight. And it's two people that if you watch the network on a regular basis, you should be extremely familiar with. You see one of them every week on my show, and you see the other one throughout the week on multiple shows. So without further ado, let's bring on our special guests today, Gwen Johns and Leitreanna Brown.
Hey, everybody.
What is going on, Lee? Gwen, how are you ladies doing tonight?
Good.
So I am super excited. I am super excited to have you ladies on and then have Morgan as my co-host for my second special edition of Women in the Paranormal for Women's History Month show.
I love it.
It's really nice of you to recognize that this holiday, having us on. Thanks. Hey, Jeremy.
I thought it was a unique idea, and I've never seen another podcast do it. So I'm like, you know what? I feel like this is something that needs to be brought up, and we have two other great guests coming on for the remainder of the month. So it's been a fun experience so far.
Oh, it's been really good so far.
Hey, Blaine.
Excuse me. Hey, Blaine. So first and foremost, I just want to start off. I feel like anyone who's a regular on the show, they know who you guys are. Okay. But for those people who are just tuning in, Gwen, she is the co-host on the Paranormal Unveiled podcast typically. Tonight, she's on the other side of the table. Leitreanna, she hosts or helps host multiple podcasts on the network. And Gwen is also the producer of a majority of the shows. So we're going to go into a lot of different aspects here. It's going to be a lot of bouncing back and forth. So just be prepared for multi-part questions abound. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a fun show.
Sounds like he just lit the fuse.
Yes. So the first thing I want to start off with, just for those out there who are not regulars to the network, they're not regulars to watching our podcast, like their first time tuning in, going one by one, don't matter who starts. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started actually doing this podcast thing within the network itself.
Lee, you go first.
Okay. I started doing a podcast network in the early 2000s, and we had a great response. We had millions of people following us, and we had great people from Ghost Hunters International, Ghost Hunters, that we were just really happy with all we were doing. We were taking on more shows, podcasters, and not as big as what we are now as far as the number of hosts. But when Hurricane Sandy went through, it tore the studio down. And the director that, he was hosting the server and all the stuff and doing all the graphics and stuff. He said, I can't rebuild this. I've got to start my life over. And I said, I get it. And so, that just went away and I went back to radio. Well, I was on somebody's podcast and they were having problems getting started. And I had seen StreamYard used before, so I downloaded the free version. And while they were trying to figure out their tech problems, me and the other guy that I was supposed to be his guest, we went live on StreamYard. And that was it. We got started. And as I was building it, I'm thinking, I'm not going to be able to do this alone. This is just going to be too much. What am I going to do? So Matt said, talk to Gwen. We had her over to the house. We went to dinner and she came back and I was like, okay, here you go.
Yeah, she's like, here you go. And I'm like, well, thank you. And I'm going, oh,
yeah, she was not afraid. She never gets afraid. So, I mean, she just looked like focused, like, oh crap, But
Out of all the time I've known you, Lee, I have never heard that story. So that even fascinates me.
it was fun.
And you got to
Yeah.
realize, for those of you who don't know, Lee and I are not just best friends and partners, in the network with Matt, kind of, sort of. And, but we're, just chosen sisters. And, we do everything we can together. And
yes, we are.
Yeah. And we said, you know what, we're going to grow our family by having our podcasters and everybody that's why I get picked on sometimes because I'm a bit choosy, but that's because I want to keep the family going and we support each other. And Nate, if I call him, or even Morgan, who I consider part of us, but she's crawling in with us. If I call you guys, yeah. And I say, hey, somebody had a cancellation or something. Are we doing this? What are you in? And if you guys can, you will. And so will everybody else. And that makes it special. Even Thomas and Blaine and anybody, we all work together.
I will say that's one thing that I can say absolutely about this network is we all do seem to have each other's backs. If there's a cancellation on a show and you call someone and they're available, they're going to do it. And I will say, I love that. So now that we have that out of the way, I want to start off the first things first, because I want to go into the podcasting aspect a little bit. So I'm going to start off with Lee, and then Gwen, I got a question for you following that.
Sure.
Lee, so let me ask you, how many shows do you help host? Because you are constantly on.
It does seem that way. We've changed our format a little bit. I was doing Family Spirit International, which this is going to be. Lane, I know you're watching. What did we say was this? This was our what season? Do you remember, Matt?
16.
I think it is 16. Lane said it was 16, and then one time we counted 18. But I started doing the show because I had a story to tell, and I was on Facebook trying to find somebody to explain my situation to. We lived in a haunted house with children that could see spirits and talk to them just like us. And it was blowing my mind. My mom and my grandmother and my husband's, we all lived together with all of us in the same house, and we're all going through it together. So I met a guy that was a psychic medium, and he was also a producer of a TV network. Thank you, Jeremy.
16. Yes, Jeremy, and I'll get that to you.
He's right.
Yeah, I'll get that to you. We're still working on a couple new ones. Sorry, Lee. Go ahead.
No problem. So anyway, I went from that to, it was Family Spirit to start with, because I was talking about my family, because I felt like other families that had children that were psychic or had psychic abilities through their family may need that extra support. It was a support group. And then it went from that as the kids grew. The book came out of it, Family Spirit, 5 Generations of the Supernatural. And then after that, it turned into Family Spirit International, because I realized there were so many things spiritually that affect our families, different religions, different, experiences, holistic medicine, meaning we're all dealing with illness and our mortality. So we just expanded it bigger and bigger. And when I was doing the old one, it was still radio, and it got picked up in Australia, and it bounced to Europe. Nice. And my book started selling in Italy. And so that's why I went with Family Spirit International. So when I started All Access Network Television, I told Gwen, I got to bring it back. I'm not ready yet. I got burned out. I really mourned the loss of it. A lot of the videos were taken down before I could get copies. It was really a real tragedy for me. So as I was telling my story to Gwen, she helped me bring this dream back. And so every time I do something with any of the podcasters, any of you guys that are my family, my tribe, our family, it heals me a little bit more every time.
And I love that.
But to answer your question, Family Spirit International, and then we started doing serial killers, supernatural, and murderers. And Tom had to step away. It was only supposed to be a 6-week commitment, and it turned into almost a year. So
it was over a year.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was thrilled that we were able to enjoy each other that long, but he had so many commitments come up, and he was a busy guy in those things. Yeah. So we changed it to supernatural murders, because there's a lot of spirits that actually help solve their own murders. And Tom, led me to that topic. And then we went on to people that were killed during a supernatural experience. And it just, I don't know, it was going so dark. I couldn't put the humor in it, like when Blaine and Tom and Gwen and I were bouncing off each other. And I said, I got to stop this for a minute. I started having nightmares, I got to tell you. So we went to Cryptid Nation. We submitted our stories. They were chosen by the History Channel. And we all filmed. And I said, there's so many stories. And then I felt the same burning passion. The thing that I was doing with Family Spirit International needs to be done with people that have had all supernatural experiences, including cryptids. And it seems to be just taken off. Like, I don't know how to describe it, because we're getting messages, emails, people wanting on the show, giving us, pictures of tracks. We've got somebody that's mailing us a track of something that he, investigated. We're going to have all of that in our haunted museum now, because, we've opened a whole nother side.
Right.
It honors my dad more. So.
And Cryptid Nation is the new podcast you guys just started, correct?
Right.
And that's on Mondays.
It's
Cryptid Nation Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
No, that's fine.
Long answer to a short question. I apologize.
That's how it rolls on this show. And Morgan, don't hesitate to interrupt if you want to ask a question. I know I get very talkative and long-winded, so it's okay.
Well, I was starting to talk and you started talking. So I was going to say.
You just have to cut him off.
It's a constant battle. It's just a repeat of our call that's going to happen later. But you guys have a podcast together too, right?
Yes.
Your own
And I'm going to put that.
Yes.
I made this cute thing. For a couple of years, let me tell you real quick, for a couple of years, we had wanted to do something together. We do stuff together, but it's different. We're like doing Cryptid Nation, Family Spirit, which has Blaine, and then when he can come, and because he's a busy dude. And then we said, you know what, we're going to do our project. And I was like, what can we do? And me and Lee tossed it around and came up with something. And I'm trying to get it to pull up right now, and hopefully I can. Mom
was part of the conversation, because the three amigos would get on the road and we'd go shopping till we drop, or we'd go for a call and run and run to a cemetery. She would call. I love that. I love it.
That's awesome.
That's us. And hopefully we can dress like this if we can figure it out at some of the Paracons and stuff.
We're going to do the
nice
eyes.
Yeah, that's very simple. Go to Amazon or something like that, and you can order those whiteout that actually have a shine to it. Contact lenses.
Cool. Thomas, I saw that. I would very much like to talk to you about that. Please come on Cryptid Nations and let's talk about it, because those were very compelling pictures.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead, Gwen.
No, I was going to say, and I saw Jeremy's comment. Haunted Sister Diaries is just a here, there, and just every once in a while we're going to do something. If we find something good, if we go somewhere. Yeah, it's kind of our pet project. That way we can do something together, even though we do other stuff together. It's kind of our thing. So, and it's just fun for us. We have to have a little, not just all business. Yeah.
And we've got lots of footage. We've got lots of footage we haven't shown anyone.
Yeah,
so we'd like to do that. And
that's gonna be awesome. I think that's gonna be an enjoyable show.
Yeah,
I know that I'm slotted to be a guest on Cryptid Nation, and me and Blaine had talked about an experience. I do believe it was in a pre or post show about something that I had experienced in a cemetery in Alabama that I have never disclosed to anyone, because until me and Blaine talked, I had completely forgot that it ever happened.
Oh
wow.
So that's going to be an interesting story, and I'm not the only person with said claim about said thing that I saw from that place.
Wow.
So moving now to Gwen's side of the question, because you produce a majority, if not all, of the shows for the network.
I kind of produce them all, but Lee and me do kind of the shows we do together, kind of together. So yeah,
right. But the single
drive sometimes.
Like
I let her get behind the driver's seat a little bit.
but I mean,
now and then.
So like the singular shows, like our show, Twisted Tales, which is coming up after this one, which actually Morgan's going to be the guest on there. So I want to give that a shout out real quick, which I was going to do at the end of the show, but I'll do it now and then again at the end.
Yep.
But so you produce a lot of these shows. Like that's got to be hectic at times.
I love it. I get, and I'm not going to say, I'm not allowed to say the B word. So I'm going to say I get restless. Every time I say the B word or Lee says the B word, or no, everything goes nuts.
It hits the fan every time.
But
spoken.
Yeah, I love to stay busy, and I do. Now Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are my time, unless we do specials, or it also gives us time to travel and do that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like this week, I'm not at home this week, but at a friend's house, and another friend who has a podcast. He's down for the week in Sumter, doing his work, and I did a little bitty live the other day, and hopefully tomorrow. Today didn't work out, but hopefully tomorrow, even if it's raining, we get to do a little bit of live. But he's down here doing that. But I can do my stuff anywhere as long as it has good Wi-Fi. So it makes it really easy. But I love it. And I am busy. We got more to come. Tom's gonna have his show coming soon. We got other ones coming also, and
I know the Radicals are coming.
Yep. They are taking a little bit, but that's okay. They're coming.
Let me tell you,
he's also
such great humans, though.
JC Crow Girl. You guys don't know who she is. JC Crow Girl. She's a psychic medium, and she's intense.
I recognize the name. Me and Blaine discussed her a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Sherry Collins, who is the Kraken. They call her the Kraken. She's I put her on our intro if you look at that.
I was thinking JC Crow Girl. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I think JC may want to do something, but that's not locked down. We've also got another lady. I'm not going to say her name because I'm not positive about it, but she was on also on I don't know if it was Family Spirit or Cryptid Nation. Well, she's thinking about it also. Sorry.
That was my alarm, sorry. But
no, that was also
I also noticed over the last few intro videos that we've done that Vicky's coming to the network.
Yes, Vicky Peplow, the author that has produced most of my books. Mike Ricksecker actually did my first one. And but Vicky, we found each other during COVID online, and I was going to start a podcast about authors, and she wanted to do it. And she's very shy, but man, she can write. She's very precision. You should read her books. She's amazing. She's from UK, so her accent is just phenomenal. And she did your book, she did mine, several of mine, and she stands all the ready.
She was extremely helpful with mine, extremely honest. Like she does excellent work.
And what she did for us, I finally talked her into actually charging a little something. So she's charging a little base fee, but I mean, she did all of it out of the love of her heart. Isn't that?
But you know what? Charging that base fee, it's worth it for the work that she does. I promise you, from anyone out there looking to write a book that wants to go that route, it is worth it.
Hey, Jeremy.
What's up, Jeremy?
Hey, Jeremy. So I've got a random question for the two of you because I don't know how I haven't asked it. How did you guys meet?
I'll tell you like this. Lee may not remember this part because this is a little foggy. It was kind of on my part, and I apologize. There's a little something in the back, but I had worked in the ER as well as a paramedic, and I knew her mother, and we were actually very connected all that time.
Yes.
And I had to. Long story short, I had to retire because of my shoulder. I couldn't lift anymore. I couldn't do that kind of stuff. And it kind of kicked some other stuff into overdrive. So now I can't do like hard physical stuff. I can do this, but that's a little different. But so I was looking for something to do. I'd always been interested in the paranormal and everything like that. And then, I finally decided I don't care what people think anymore. I'm going to be me. And everything started getting better. And I was looking for something to get me there. And something made me look online. And I saw where they had done a class. It was an article in the paper. Well, I called about the class to the Piedmont Technical College, and they said, "Oh, we can't take any more students. They've already started." Well, I didn't know how to get in touch with them. So here goes like maybe 9 months later, and I found them again and found out the class, and I connected with Lee online. And I was like, just curious. do you know Judy Terry? This is Mom, who we call Mom, And she said, yes. And we talked, and I went to one class, and it was like, we have not stopped since. Lee, is that about right?
We actually hugged each other with tears.
Yes.
Like we knew each other. And then she started coming over to the house, and then Mom started calling her, hey, can we go such and such? And, I'm at work, and here comes Gwen getting Mom. And they go, she called it scooter pooping. And let's go scooter pooping, Gwen. They'd go get, Matt calls it gallivanting. Yeah, but that's, all of those words are kind of what kicked off that walkabout with Gwen going on a walkabout. I said, oh, you went with the Mom on a walkabout. And so from those little, backstories of all those words is where I think Paranormal Walkabout was born, just using our inside language,
Yeah, we would sit there.
Mom always.
Oh yeah, we would chatter in the car, and I miss her so much. I wear her ashes. If anybody ever sees this, that's what that is. I called her Mom. She called me daughter number 2, and we'd get mad if I didn't come find her first when I came to the house. And
she'd get furious.
Oh, yes.
Gwen's here. You haven't come to say hey to me. You better get in here.
Yeah, so we were connected, and we were meant. This time in our life is when we were meant to be friends. And now we're chosen sisters, and that's just the way it is. I mean,
I have heard similar stories, and just like with Morgan convincing me that psychic mediumship is actually a thing, because y'all know my standpoint on that before I met her, and almost like there's a terminology in the paranormal called spirit sisters.
Yep.
And do you feel like that's the case here?
Yes. Absolutely. My mom said, I don't want you to think. She just pulled me in the living room, sat me down, and she patted me on the leg, because she always talked with her hands. She's patting me on the leg, and she said, now about Gwen. And I thought, oh Lord, here we go. She's getting ready to lay one on me. She said, I want you to know that being in the hospital as secretary, nurse tech was a big part of my life. I found it very rewarding, very wonderful. It's what I got up for in the morning. Yep. And I lost that when I retired. And Gwen talking about it to me, because she would bring the patients to me.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I would come home praying about them. And now they can actually, without saying names, remember when I brought so-and-so, how did that turn out? And then, and they'd sometimes sit down and pray for them still, hoping they're doing okay. But it was very healing and loving from Mom. And she said, it's not that I'm replacing you. It's that we've got a relationship that's very different than what you and I have. And I do look at her as one of my daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And
when Mom passed, I saw that comment. I'm going to have to ask you to hold them kind of opinions to yourself, sir.
He's right. I'm just saying. Hey, Raven.
Hey, Raven. Yeah. I see you pop up there. So when Mom passed, I called Gwen, and she was by my side in a flash. And
I legit got there in about 15 minutes and don't remember getting dressed. Don't remember getting in the car. Don't remember driving. All I know
it was so sudden.
No, I was like, I'm coming. And then I was there. And
didn't you take her to the doctor, her last appointment? It was like 2 or 3 days before she died. She got a clean bill of health. So this was a big problem.
Yeah, I took her to the pharmacy, and it was very unexpected.
So
very
I don't know. It happened the way it happened. But the best part about our relationship is we were very close before the trauma happened. So we're not just trauma bound. We were friends first.
Mm-hmm.
So that shows me that we're here to stay.
Then I'll say I'm not just friends with Lee. I feel like Lee and Matt both are my brother and sister. And,
yeah, she's just like Matt.
A lot of ways.
I'll say
I like Matt.
Hey, Kathy.
I like Matt. It took a little bit for us to kind of warm up to each other at first, because I'm not sure if we knew exactly what to think of one another. But once we warmed up to it, he's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He thinks the world of you. He's got a picture to show you.
Okay.
He's got something. Matt, you want to text to him?
Yeah. Hey, Ash. Yeah. Just send it over to me, Matt. But I did want to give him his props because he is awesome. He's such a good dude.
Yes.
Now he's got 2 shows he wants to get off the ground, but he had AT, and he's had some emergencies with his some of the soldiers under him.
Yep.
Several actually, and so he's been very busy. But he's going to be doing some soon, and I think we're going to can him so that even when he's out doing stuff,
I like that.
we can still air.
That's a great
I'm
idea.
gonna push him to when he gets a little bit of time, which he's super busy. When he gets a little bit of time, I'm gonna push him to do the first one to make the rest. He's gonna be like, Gwen, stop it. But I'm gonna push him. I'm gonna push him because I think he needs to do both of them. I just really
they were good
I know
ideas
he
from what we
does.
heard.
What's
Hey,
up,
Bill?
Bill? So
Yeah.
moving forward from that, Lee, you are also not just the CEO of All Access. You're not just a podcaster. You're not just someone who has abilities, right? You're also an author, which we touched on a little bit earlier. How many books have you penned? Because I know a lot of this you write with Matt as well, correct?
Yes. The first book, poor Matt, I read it to him over and over and over because, Grammarly was all we had to make sure I wasn't, sounding
Oh,
crazy.
that's not the best. That's not the best.
No.
No, but some
I
of her
worked on
books
it.
are years ago. So yeah.
So, I was trying to make sure everything was just right. And so I sent it to Mike, and he loved it because he's a very accomplished author. Thank you, Blaine. I think he kicks ass too. Matt's my one thing, guys. I'm telling you, Matt is my one thing. He's everything. I mean, I
Yeah,
choose him.
Me and him still have to exchange barbecue recipes, by the way. Don't think I forgot.
He said, the recipes, where are they? He wants them. Yeah.
Awesome human being. He is. He
Thank
really
you,
is.
Thomas. Yeah, he loves you too. Matt
Lee,
is
do y'all have
down
8
water.
or 9 books now? I always get
Yes,
that.
the question.
We got
I
sidetracked.
have
It's
to
okay.
pull her back. See, we're connected. I have to pull her back.
Yeah.
Gwen, you've been on this show for how long? You know this is what happens.
I know. But is it 9? I can't keep track. Is
think
it 8 or 9
How
books?
many books do we have? 8? 9. It is 9.
See,
Matt
okay.
wrote one. Matt wrote one
Mhm.
all by himself. I mean, it's meant to be like a workbook for class, and we're going to expand on that. I say we because I'm his secretary, right? But the first one was the one that we really toiled over. The rest was almost like textbooks as we were teaching. I just didn't see the need to get somebody else's book, push their book and teach from it, because then I have to learn it. And what if it's not just like what I would say when I could just write the thing?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I did. I wrote it the way I wanted it and put a journal in there. And so that's what we did. I got a lot more I've got to write. They're all up in here. Yes, Blaine. Please, sir. Yes.
They all are
Blaine,
great.
look, man, I got a smoker. I'm always looking for new recipes and mop sauces and whatnot. Like, trust me, I'm always down for some barbecue conversation, so we can have that later on. But so Leah, do you happen to have a favorite book so far? Like, I know Family Spirit's kind of like your baby, right?
It is.
I feel like that's from what we've discussed, because I know I need to get a copy of it still. I haven't forgotten about that either.
I gotta send them all to you.
It is weird the crap I remember, because I won't forget what me and Morgan talked about last night, but I remember stuff from months ago.
And do you know that it has came to me the same stuff? And I'm like, I can't CRS, and the can't and then I'll remember stuff, and I'm like, Nate, now I can't even talk your name. Nate, it's your fault. It's your fault.
Most likely, it is contagious.
It is.
So besides Family Spirit, would you have a book that you would personally say is your favorite that everyone should check out and read?
Well, each one has a purpose. The Parapsychology 101 book is the basics of parapsychology, not ghost hunting. This equipment's meant to do this and no.
There is a difference for those watching.
Yes. So, that one is a great book to start your journey, which is why it says, beginning your journey of the unexplained. And then, your psychic connection. I love that because there's exercises in it. But I feel like the one that is very sentimental to me is Psychic Kids. So you think your kid is psychic. That's the name of the book. It sounds a little sassy, and I meant it that way because, all kids are psychic. You just discovered it.
Yeah.
Right.
And Matthew and I wrote a lot of stories in it. Blaine wrote when he was a kid.
Okay.
Even in Family Spirit, the book that I wrote, my very first one, there's stories in it about when I was a kid, my first experience, and then later when my daughter had an experience and how I responded as a parent. So really, those two kind of birthed the Psychic Kids book. And then, we had the first revision out. It was Mama, Matt, me, and Blaine. And we had, this is what happened. This is how the response. and what people said. A lot of people were, just forget about it. Just, it didn't happen. It's your imagination. Like me, it was, all right, so this may be what happens next. Be prepared, and this is how you respond to that. That was what my grandmother, mother, and even my dad did. Yep. I didn't give him a lot of credit for that because he was more the cryptid guy, and he was afraid everything was a demon because he was real spiritual.
Yeah. Right.
Christian. But yeah. So, but back to it, the second revision, Gwen contributed, and that really made something special for me, because not just my family, but the tribe, the people that were the closest to me pitched in, and they saw my passion on that, my vision on that, and they contributed, and that kind of aligned us for All Access Network.
I like it.
And I got voluntold that my story was going, so.
I like it. You know what we should do? We should get everyone on the network that's had an experience together to write a chapter and just put out our own book on All Access Network.
Actually, awesome. We've been talking about that. I was about to call you about that. Oh my God.
I'm not psychic.
Blaine, tell them. Didn't we just talk about that? I told you.
Let me make a comment real quick. Bill, I went through this until I accepted my stuff. And I say my stuff because it's growing every day. And I have 3 books in my head. They're just not on the computer. And one day it'll be, but I get, anxiety, depression. That is part of it if you don't accept it. Once you accept it, you're going to feel, and don't worry about who. Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of things that.
Sorry? I'm sorry, baby. Let me just do it. Then it's your turn. Just let me say this real quick. Bill, I feel something from what you just said. And I want you to know, I feel it, Gwen. I see where you're headed. My grandmother sat me down and said that we have, as a family, have suffered. My mom being Filipino, Mama Jenny going through World War II and having a grandmother that was, crippled from polio, and they're trying to take care of it. Mom had a problem with her heart, so Mama Jenny oftentimes went hungry. I mean, we were challenged. We had a lot of problems, and because of that, she said that God gives you, it's in the Bible, it says God gives you abilities to help you with problems. It says that he won't give you more than you can handle. Well, the way that balances out, he gives you gifts so that you can handle what you're going through. And so she said, every time there's a problem that you go through, sorry, I just dropped my phone. Every time there's a problem that you go through, be looking, it's not for blessings, be looking for your ability to increase, because eventually it will form, and then you'll be able to help somebody else. And I thought, wow, she's crazy. This life just sucks, and then all of a sudden it started making sense. And that's why we wrote the book about psychic kids. I'm glad that you accept it. Let your son know that this is normal. His gifts are growing. Okay, Morgan, your turn. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just saying that is a common thing, the anxiety and the depression. But I feel like where you had people help you navigate, if you have somebody above you, older than you in your family that accepts it, they may or may not have gifts, but they help you with it. It definitely helps too.
God, yeah.
See, I didn't have that.
Well, you said it
for a long
time.
Neither
did I.
Yeah.
You did. When you came to the family, you did, and look how it grew.
But I had already said I am right. I had already said I am going to find me. I'm going to accept it. I don't care what people think. And that's when I found you guys. And that's when I was supposed to find you guys. I do believe it, because it's my time of life to. Lee says I'm living my best life. So.
Right.
To
answer Ricky's question, how does one deal with anxieties, right?
Yes. Sorry, I did not mean to.
I feel like, in my opinion, everyone out there has their own way of processing the anxiety. It doesn't necessarily work for everyone else's mindsets, everyone else's beliefs. Me, I compartmentalize. I shove everything into a cabinet, which will eventually overflow and explode, and I know it will. But
mine has too.
But that is how I deal with mine. But, there's a lot of people that cope with it other ways, brother. There's meditation you can do. You can do grounding and centering. There's so many different aspects that you can try to help relieve that. Some people relieve stress and anxiety simply by going to the gym and working out, which I know that you've been doing a lot of that, Ricky. I know your progress. You update me on it every now and again. So for me, it basically it depends on the person you are and the mindset that you're in.
Mm-hmm. It could also be journaling, breathing exercises in the moment sometimes help.
That's beautiful. You know, a lot of people journal in their Bible when they're reading, just so that
Yes,
they
they do.
capture the moment, so they'll remember. So if you use that same technique as you're going through your anxiety, I say something that Matt and I actually started when we first got married. We started, we played a game, and we started out by naming different feelings. And it can't be happy, sad, mad, you know, it has to be something else. Well, I feel forlorn right now, or I feel nostalgic. I mean, there's a lot of words that can describe your feelings. And we went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We had a blast with it. Even our kids are doing it. And I said, now that we know we can express our feelings, we got to use our words. Because if you are
That's great
feeling
advice.
anxiety, there's a reason. You've got to analyze what it is. If you're feeling anxiety and you can't find a reason, it's not your anxiety. You're feeling someone else. And that's how you accept your gift. And you need to right then and there pray. Okay, Great Spirit, God, whoever's your higher authority, I'm getting the message to pray, and I'm doing it right now. And I ask you to help whoever this is from or who it's for, and see if your anxiety pulls back down, because that's part of the gift.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Yeah.
have anxiety, you have depression, you have, because Matt called me today and said, Lee, something's wrong on a large scale. I don't know what it is. And boom, he found out exactly what it was. So start looking. You're getting notified.
Yeah.
How are you going to read the text if you get a notification, you don't read it? Same exact scenario. And that's what my grandma taught me. Praise God, because I'd be in the loony bin.
Yeah.
I got you, Ricky. And touching back on what Lee said earlier about taking notes in the Bible, right? Some people will do that during Bible studies, Bible readings. It is very common. It may not be as common up here in the Northeast, but if you go down and you go to a Southern Baptist church, you're going to be hard pressed to find a Bible that does not have writing in the inlets on the side.
Exactly.
I can promise you.
Exactly.
So I know exactly what Lee's talking about, but some people up north, they may not know that, because up here, the more common religion is Catholicism, so they don't do that.
That's true. What I do is bookmarks. I have those little tabs all over the place, not just the tabs of the different books of the Bible, but I have tabs everywhere. I got scriptures out of the hymn books and was writing it on bookmarks and putting it.
You know what?
And I was
Tabs,
really,
I'm okay with, but you know what I
Yeah.
can't stand? People who fold the corners over. Like, don't
No.
do that.
No.
Don't.
Mm.
That
I'm gonna
bothers
fold
the
every
crap
one
out
of your
me.
books this weekend. Every one.
Thank you. I want a picture, Morgan. Just snap a picture.
Do not fold no corners in my books.
I'm gonna reorganize them too, so they make no sense. It's gonna be fun.
Oh.
I may not be here for the podcast next Wednesday, Gwen.
Morgan can. Me and her will take it. Just one
No,
week.
just so
no.
you know, you can iron those corners out with an iron. Just so you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
that
no.
way too. Don't
Yeah,
mess.
a little bit of a damp cloth that you would hit with a steamer, and then a quick iron, you're good to go. I already know the
There you
trick.
go.
So Gwen, you already kind of touched on it. I was going to ask this question next on the follow-up of Lee's books, but I was asking if there was going to be a Gwen book coming in the future, considering the fact of how much you travel. You've been doing a lot of different things, and you said you had 3 in your mind, but you just can't figure out how to put them on the paper, or either you just haven't done it yet.
Well, there's 3 that I'll be honest with you. It could be it could be more because Now one, I will tell you guys, one is going to make you fall out of your chair and pee yourself laughing, because that, I love to make people laugh. I love to do stuff for people, and that's part of getting my stress out of the way too. By the way, that's make yourself laugh, make everybody else laugh.
Laughter is good for the soul. That's why I love to have fun on my show.
Exactly. And one of my books is going to just be, and anybody who knows me, they're going to be like, yep, that's Gwen. That's Gwen. I don't want to give it away. I don't even know if I'll put my actual name on it. But
I mean, you could always use a pen name or a pseudonym.
I might, because it's gonna be funny. But I really would love. I would do the same thing. Oh yeah,
Thomas,
yep.
I'm gonna hurt you.
Thomas and I are on the same page.
I can't legally hurt. I can't legally hurt Morgan. That's considered abuse. But I could hurt you, sir. I mean, either. I guess it's still assault, right? Either way, I'm gonna need bail money.
Oh well, we can take up a collection because we forever saying that one day me and Lee's going to go somewhere like the DC airport, and we're going to have bail
That was
money.
horrible.
Oh,
That was horrible. I showed my redneck butt.
And I was, you know what? I did for 1 second.
I did.
I popped off, and then I walked in the corner, and I took my little phone, and I had it taken care of, and I looked at Lee, and I said, "You about done?" She says, "Yeah." I said, "Well, we got flights. We got standby flights." And she just looked at me like I grew 3 heads, and just, it was so funny. We have adventures, you guys. We have adventures.
There's no
everywhere
travel,
we go.
only adventures.
Yeah.
It's just like me. I will never drive anywhere without using a GPS. But even if I get lost, I'm not lost. I just change my destination.
There you go.
Right
There you go. Yeah, Ash was laughing. Some of mine is going to be basically my story, how it happened, because, you know, I grew up in the South, and I was told, nope, you don't tell nobody this. And Morgan's sitting there understanding, even though she wasn't in the South. That's how mine, and I'm developing everything, and hopefully this year, everything's growing and it's getting better, but everything's going to get even better. So
I still think you should push on that book. At least start writing one of them. Start putting on the keypad.
I have actually. I've voice typed it and it looks a mess, but I can go back and fix that. If I figure I got some down, then it'll come better. But I've done it driving. I did it driving where I was at this weekend. So that's my thing.
So going off of the actual network, podcast conversations and all that, right?
Yeah.
Thomas, I love you, man. You know I love you. But so Lee and Gwen, you both have some form of what I would call a mediumistic ability. It may not be necessarily mediumistic as far as being able to read cards or whatnot, but Lee, I know you have abilities. Gwen, I know you are, I believe you label yourself as empathic.
Yeah, I don't really label myself, but most people who are around me know I'm an empath. And,
okay.
Right now it's growing. Like Blaine said back, he says, I forget what he calls it, but you know, let it go, let it come, it'll come. And I have other stuff that comes up, and right now I've just got to quit pushing them away, and it'll develop more. So
Lee, can you do what is your ability when it comes to that? I know you have a form of psychic ability where you can talk to spirits, correct?
Sometimes I can see them, sometimes I can hear them. But if I can see them and I can't hear them, that sucks because I'm reading lips, you know? So
but sometimes I can hear when she's seeing, and we don't realize it's
that
later.
helps a lot.
Yeah.
But oftentimes they line up and it works out really well. It really depends on the spirit that, you know, are they really wanting to communicate? So I can see it and hear it. I do premonitions. I can translate dreams. I can read palms, and I read oracle cards. I've been working on tarot, but it ain't coming to me. So I don't know if I've just got the wrong deck. I don't know. But these are the ones that I use the most. They're called shamanic and medicine wheel cards. I have animal cards too. But these are very, very powerful. And, you know you're doing a good reading when somebody really connects and you can see their emotion.
So oracle is more along the lines of Morgan's forte. That she can read the oracle thing. I'm be honest with you, 9-10 years ago, I used to read tarot. I haven't done it in many, 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 many years. I have a deck that was given to me by my grandmother who taught me how to practice Wicca. And so like it's a passed down from generation thing. So I used to read tarot, but I don't know what ever changed in my mind, some kind of spark that made me think, okay, well, I'm just doing this for no reason.
Well, it doesn't analyze well. If you stop and think about it, it's just a game of random, randomness. And you think that it doesn't make any, but here's the thing. When I'm shuffling cards and talking to somebody and I pull out a card and there's 2, and then I'm shuffling again and one falls on the floor, those were selected. And those are the ones that are on point. And, I try to let the person pick. And I'll say, okay, tell me when to stop. And then I'll just, pull it out. And, the main thing is if you understand how to tune your intention, and that's a good way to also develop your psychic gifts. Both are the same, because if your intention is to fight your gifts, you're going to fight having anxiety all the time. It's just going
Right.
to happen to you because you're getting notified, but you are
Mhm.
ignoring the phone call. I'm
Yep.
sending them to voicemail, and they're going to keep calling. So that's where that comes from. If you start listening with intention, okay, I'm gonna help heal what's going on. I'm gonna help, and you start listening with your heart and your spirit ears, things start changing. Same with cards. If you're touching them, your intention is, I want to give them a reading. This is for you. And I'm going through it and I'm connecting to your energy. This becomes a tool of communication, sort of like a cell phone sends a signal. The phone's not talking to you, the person on the other end is, just like this. So if I'm
So,
going through it and these happen to pop out and I'm thinking of you when it happens, I'm thinking of you when I touch you to do Reiki, and you can feel the energy flow, and you can feel your the same intention to make your hand move if you have one of those new prosthetic limbs is what makes it work.
Yeah.
So
yes, correct.
we're proving that the mind can activate something.
Mhm.
And it doesn't have to
Right.
be just the energy inside your body. It can actually be the energy around you. And that's more about casting, but then you also are talking about being able to read from it.
So
But
since
also
I
just
am,
shuffle. Sorry.
go ahead, Morgan.
No, I was saying
Mhm.
even just shuffling the cards, that's just amplifying your energy too, because every shuffle you do, that's just moving the energy and helping with the messages that you're supposed to get to that person out.
Mhm.
Now
So
Morgan,
now,
I gotta brag on her. She does good. She's read for me once in
Honey,
person, and then she's really good.
she read
Thank you.
Matt, and it was spot on.
Mhm.
We were having some things, and she did a reading for Matt, and he was like, wow. Oh, wow.
and this
And
and
then
this
he
is
looked
the
at me, how
reason,
did she know that? Did you tell her? And I'm like, no.
and this is the exact
Beautiful.
reason she changed my mind on my aspect of what a medium
Mhm.
can do.
She's a
But
very,
I, I will
she's a
say though,
loving
Lee,
person.
since I am a man of science and intrigue, um,
Oh, please.
while I
There we
ask,
go.
I am. But so while I ask Gwen this next question, and I want you to answer it as well, would you mind pulling a card from each to see what it says?
Oh, Lee, think she's frozen.
Oh, I thought she was talking to you, Gwen. I thought he was
I
asking
don't
me to
have
pull a
my
card.
cards with me.
No, I
I'm
was
not
asking
I
home.
thought I
you.
missed it. I'm
No,
sorry. I
I
was
I, I
reading.
You're
thought it
good.
was the same question. I thought he was asking Gwen as well. So
Yeah.
you
Oh
might be the
no,
only one
no,
confused.
I was asking Lee because I'm going to start off with this next. So here's the confusion. I said I'm going to start this question with Gwen while you're shuffling,
Oh,
and
I
then
didn't
Oh,
hear
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I was
so
reading what Ricky had posted.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, put that
awesome.
back up
I
real
want a
quick.
reading. I want a reading from Morgan. That's up to
Yes, you
Morgan.
should
No.
get
I
one
missed
from
Ash's
Morgan.
comment. I think Ash commented after.
Yep. There we go. I think I glitched
Oh, yeah.
for a minute. I think I glitched. So,
No,
all
send me
right.
a
What's your
message, Ash.
question,
I'm
Nate?
not the best with them, but send one.
So
He's
starting
good.
off with you, Gwen. You both have recently been featured on the revamped show Monster Quest. Super Jealous is one of my favorite shows ever in the paranormal. That's where you found out the giant squid in the Sea of Cortez in season 2. Like I
That's
loved
right.
I
Monster
loved it
Quest.
as a kid.
Yeah, you guys have no
Me
idea.
too.
Like I probably have every show memorized. That's how much I love this show.
So,
So
do you know that we didn't know the name of the show like until
you
about
did
2
mention it.
weeks?
You
Yeah,
did
and
mention it.
yep. Oh,
So
Blaine
I
wants to
didn't know
read
it
them
to
too.
2 days. Gwen knew
Oh,
before me, but she thought
I
I
did.
knew. I didn't have a clue.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're giving out of time. We don't want him
you're
to
good.
panic. So, ask
You're
the
good.
question. Go ahead.
I'm not going to panic. So, can you tell us, without going into too much detail, to not so much give it away for those who haven't
Right.
seen the episode? What were you describing as far as your experiences on the show? I know it has to do with a time slip, correct?
Right. Let's just say this. In the show, I am older. They present me as a little older. When I was between 8 and 10, I think it was actually 9, but let's say around 8 or 10. I had an experience in a place that we lived for a short time. And it was a time slip. And it changed a lot between me and my father's relationship, my biological father. So not only did I have that, that's not in the show, but briefly I had it. It was about something that happened on the property years ago. And you got to go see it. It is season 5, episode 6 of mine. And one day I'm going to put the whole story out. That's going to be interesting because it's really, and I just now found out some new stuff that Lee doesn't even know. So about
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm so
Mhm.
excited.
Look at that. Y'all got the inside scoop here on this show. Remember that next time.
There you go.
Maybe you got to write it down. You've got
I
to
am.
write it down.
I am.
Ricky, I do not charge for readings, but I promise you, if I read you, it is going to be 100% wrong.
Blaine, I'm going to say your comment's very interesting because I said something along the lines of that to Nate the other night.
Yep.
She did. So what did you come up with, Lee?
Okay, so I went to pull one for you from this deck for you, and just one card. And when I touched it, 3 came out. They were all stuck together. I thought I had one, and they're not sticky. I guess they just meant to be out together. So the first one is, I don't know if you can see it. These are birds circling, and they're flying in a circle. This is actually a master symbol. Okay, and the birds are messages, and they bring freedom. Now, what this freedom means is not just, okay, birds are bringing you messages, but it's also that you are free to receive them, that you are accepting new things. And because of that, which I found very interesting, because this is your second card, your ancestors.
Oh.
Okay, and you see they're from all over. This could be even ancestors from a previous life. I mean, you can't just say it's your grandma and your mama and whatever. It could be generations ago, lifetimes ago. But their first card being birds and freedom and receiving messages, the next card being your ancestors, that is saying they're sending you information. They're giving you not just information, but guidance and love and protection. And I think it's beautiful because that's something you've been thinking a lot about as you're pondering your methodology and the paranormal and psychic ability, because you've got a beautiful psychic in your life. So I really feel like she could give you some information even from your ancestors, because they are sending messages. And interesting.
That's interesting.
And check this out. The last card is the East. And the sun sets in the west, it rises in the east. This means that something beautiful is coming. It reminds me of a spring feeling, like everything's coming alive. And the word for this is emergence. So if you put all of this together, it's so cool that all of these are together. It's kind of wow,
That is kind of wild.
Got messages coming to you, and your I hate when I do that.
That one's glaring. I can't.
So
yeah.
You've got your ancestors giving you messages, and you're able to receive them now. And then the last thing is emergence. You guys are going to have some really incredible activities as far as your supernatural abilities. And I really feel like this is letting you know, you get your cameras ready, pay attention to what you're doing. I feel like maybe you guys had planned some sort of experiment with what you guys do. I mean, that would make sense on Nate's brain, and Morgan, you would be willing to do that because you're helping bridge the gaps between. This lines up for that. They're saying, we're ready. We're going to emerge in your life and show you what you know, and what's in you. And there is a such thing as epigenetics. Epigenetics means that the memories of your ancestors flow through your DNA. When people say children are grown smarter now, it's 100% true. And so you may have your epigenetics blossoming.
This is kind of interesting, actually.
You have gifts in your family, baby, and it might be that, hey, look here, we talking to you.
My grandmother definitely had abilities. I know she did. And so it's kind of interesting, though, because technically the Satanic Temple was the first investigation me and Morgan have worked together, I guess you could say, as a team.
Well, after the college was the first one. And thank you, Blaine.
That's right. The college, yes. We did some pretty awesome stuff there, but I'm curious if that is pertaining to the experiments that I had in my head to run a broadhead.
Maybe, but also you won that it's also, I think, has to do with that EMF thing that you got, because I said I wonder if it would heighten the messages that I got, and I wanted to try that out this weekend.
Yeah, I recently got an EM pump that I'm kind of
Ooh.
stoked to try out. So I'm curious how
Ricky,
that's going to work.
I'm reading. Blaine said that Morgan will pick up on all of your past lives. It'll also be your ancestors.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
just
And I know,
just
and
get
I know
ready.
Morgan knows about, and I know Morgan knows about this. I'm not sure if you and Gwen do, but when it comes to the ancestors, you know, I had an ancestor that was tried and found guilty during the Salem witch trials.
Yep.
Her name was Esther Elwell. She was not executed because luckily the trials came to an end 2 weeks before she was slated to be executed. But the weird thing is she disappeared without a trace. There's no death record. No one can find her grave. No one knows what happened to her.
Morgan, find her. Summon her to you.
Well, do you know what's so interesting though? So I told Nate years before we met, it was only one point in time I ever used Ouija boards, but the name of the spirit that came through was the same first name. How common is that first name?
Not
It's
common.
not.
Yes.
Not really.
That's
So I did have a few
beautiful.
more questions, but I see we really don't have time. We got about 2 minutes left, guys. Technically, ladies. I'm sorry. I'm so used to saying guys, but
I say
ladies.
guys to everybody.
So hang on. Let me rephrase this. Ladies and Gwen, I know she's gonna hurt me.
I'll whack him for you
Yes,
on Friday.
it's
fine.
on now.
Just tell me where.
Take
and
it
I'll-
off.
Funny. That's okay, because I'm gonna make this one comment. If we go over a few minutes, I think it's fine. But here's the thing: when we go to Broadhead, I have something in mind for all three of us, because I know Lee can't be there, but maybe we can do it on camera with her. But us three in person, I have something I want us to do. So,
I'm here for it.
Okay.
Yep. I know
I'm
you're
here
game for it, Morgan. Me and her ain't scared of nothing. But
Yeah, we're not little wimps like somebody else in the.
not calling no names. Yeah.
I am going to be chained in the boiler room, blindfolded for God knows how long.
Yeah, and
for
Gwen and
charity.
I said we would be happy to do that. We are fine
We
with
want
that.
to do it. Yeah.
Oh,
I
I'm
would love
happy
to be
for
in
it.
there
I'm
for
here
all
for
three
it.
of us. But there's
Look,
another
look.
thing I want us to do too. So go ahead.
I
with
wouldn't be
the rest
growing
of it.
this out if it wasn't for the brawl, okay?
It looks good, by the way. I'm gonna say
It
that
does look good.
Yes.
I like
It does look good.
I like the beard oil, but I will tell you that if you go too heavy on the beard oil over the mustache and you brush it over, as soon as you lick your lips, all you can taste is the beard oil. It is fucking disgusting.
Why you be licking your lips then? That's a you problem.
Because my lips is dry. Why else would I lick them? But guys, I see we're running low. So let me ask you. You always know my typical 3 questions to end the show. We're gonna do things a little bit differently this time, because we have a multi-guest thing going on here. So Gwen and Lee, I want you guys to collaborate and choose a location that you both want to go to that is on your bucket
Oh,
list.
I
that
know
you've
where
never
we're
been to.
going. I know
Well-
where we're going.
Everybody knows that I'm obsessed with Scotland. I don't want to just go to one location. I want to go to the whole country. So, Lee, what if we went to the UK and just went everywhere we could find?
Well, let's get motorcycles and a backpack.
Yes.
And, backpacks.
There you
And
go.
just go.
All right. So if you're going to the UK, that's not very specific. So I'll tell you what, if you're going to the UK, I'll choose your location for you. You're going to the Ancient Ram Inn.
That
So
works.
we've got the Ancient Ram Inn.
Okay.
You can bring one person with you. Lee, Matt is inherent. So he's
Okay.
already
Yeah.
coming with you, but you
Yeah.
have one other person you can bring.
They're
Who
both
are you
gonna pick
bringing?
the same person. I'd imagine.
We'll see.
So if Matt's already in the thing,
That's what I'm saying. Matt's already
and
okay.
you're there. I don't know.
But they can be dead, alive, somebody
They
you
can be
know,
dead,
somebody you
alive.
don't.
Mom.
Mama.
Yeah,
Mama.
that's what I
You
was
pick
figuring
Mama,
you
I'll
guys would
pick Mama Jenny, and off we go.
Then what? Then
I
here we
mean,
go. Here we go.
We'll send
Okay.
an invite to Blaine. He'll come along for sure.
He'll
but
just
I mean,
come
you
on.
gotta
Yeah,
rely-
yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
Blaine's part of our
I like
crew
it.
too.
You know what? For one show, I will allow Blaine and consider
Okay.
him a bonus. Okay.
Well, yeah, but
Okay.
he's part of our little group. That's right. He's already
He
part of
really
our group.
is. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
but
one of the he's OG.
Yeah.
But what I didn't tell you guys
Lourdes.
is you were going to be separated in 2 separate spots of the building.
Yes.
So-
Oh.
What piece of equipment are you both bringing with you for the person you chose to investigate with?
Okay. Do we get one each?
One each.
Oh, mine's a flashlight. That's my thing.
I like
She
it. I
loves her
like it.
flashlight.
I know she
Please.
does.
She's got a mini purple one. She loves it.
I got 2 of
So
them actually,
cute.
so we can answer questions. It's cool. Yeah. Lee, I know what you
I
probably
think
go
go
ahead.
ahead. What do you think? 'Cause,
No, you say yours.
I think I'd like to have my ghost box. I just want to hear it myself because
Yep.
I can hear them talking and have a conversation. So I don't know what kind of evidence that would be, but it would be great to be able to talk to them because when I close my eyes and I can hear it, I can see them. I can see their, I guess it would be their dimension. It's really cool.
I love this. That
I have a
those are
Now,
all
does Matt get to bring something?
excellent
Because
answers.
Matt's basically our camera guy when it comes to that. He's our techie
You know what?
camera guy.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Yep.
What's Matt bringing?
Matt, what are you bringing? Equipment, ghost hunting equipment. We are in UK.
One thing.
One thing.
I think my ghost box that JT made with
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Austin Maynard made us a ghost box that has a TV screen in it. It's very,
Oh, so
very
it's video
sensitive.
ITC.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's amazing.
Oh,
And
you
even
know
though
what?
he got another Austin Maynard ghost box for Christmas, nothing beats that one. He loves it.
That is actually a great point. Now that you bring that up, I need to go and do some research. I need to find someone to bring on my show that is, I guess you could say, very fluent in video ITC because it's not something that's very discussed.
I got somebody for you. I got them for you.
That's a great idea. But Gwen, Lee, you guys know your family. I love you both, and
Yeah,
I
we
thank
love you
you for
too.
coming on. I thank you for coming on the show for an hour. If you wouldn't mind hanging out in the background, as Gwen already knows, Lee, you know, I have one typical question that I always ask. And if you wouldn't mind hanging out in the background for a minute, me and Morgan will close things out, and we'll get this show on the road so Jeremy can come on.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. And everybody, thank you for watching.
much.
Blaine, Morgan,
Yes,
thank you for
all.
switching stuff up. I think it's been awesome. So
No, thanks
we're
for
gonna
letting
pull
me
back.
co-host while you guys were here.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Thank
We're going to pull
you.
in the back.
So, Morgan, what did you think of the show?
I think it went well. I had a lot more questions I wanted to ask, though.
You could have interrupted me. I told you I get long-winded.
You talk a lot. You know this.
I do. But that's the used to being a guest on a podcast to being the host kind of ordeal. So it's a difficult dynamic.
Yeah.
But I feel like you did a great job co-hosting. The questions that you did ask were very pertinent. I think you did an excellent job with that. So I would definitely love to have you back on to co-host for another episode later on. I've got a few other mediums coming on this year. And so I'd love to have you back as a secondary co-host for those shows as well.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know. Thanks.
Yeah, I
appreciate it.
absolutely will. But everybody out there watching, I thank you for joining in. This was another episode of the Paranormal Unveiled podcast. Normally I'd say with Nate Elwell and Gwen Johns, but this time it was Nate Elwell and Morgan Caldwell. I will see you guys next week. Same spooky time, same spooky network, but do not forget to tune in at 9:30 p.m. EST for Twisted Tales with Jeremy Cotter, where his guest is none other than the amazing Morgan Caldwell.
Yes, you guys get an extra hour of me tonight.
Hey, you know what? An extra hour, it's worth it because trust me, they're going to have an amazing conversation. Guys, I'll see you guys next week on the Paranormal Unveiled, where my guest is Nicole Gaspard. I'll see you then. Same spooky time, same spooky network.